let's talk about the most dangerous country on Earth. But before you picture a war zone or a city teeming with crime, let me set the record straight. No, not a nuclear superpower. Vanuatu. That's right. This tiny nation in the South Pacific, far from the headlines, is the one that wears the crown. Yes, Vanuatu. 83 islands scattered like emeralds across the ocean, most of which you probably couldn't point to on a globe if your life depended on it. The World Risk Report calls it the most at-risk country for natural disasters. Cyclones, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, Mother Nature's playground where the elements seem to be in constant competition for attention. But the real sin here? The Ni Vanuatu don't even have a word for enemies. In a world obsessed with rivalry, they simply don't see the point. Imagine Twitter with no outrage, just pigs being traded for land, and disputes settled with laughter instead of lawsuits. It's a social media manager's wildest dream. Here, happiness is the crime. Smiles are contagious, and the only thing spreading faster than gossip is joy. No stress, no deadlines, no obsession with the latest iPhone. The pace of life is so relaxed, you might forget what day it is, and nobody seems to mind. The people are guilty of being content, which in our world is apparently a scandal. Here, family and community matter more than status updates or breaking news. I went to investigate this so-called paradise of peril, expecting chaos and debauchery. I braced myself for the unexpected, ready to witness the wild side of island life. What I found was a place where the definition of a good life is so different it looks almost sinful to outsiders. Here, tradition and celebration are woven into daily life. Was Vanuatu a lawless land, or just a place where happiness is the norm, and kindness is the law of the land? Turns out, it's a lot more complicated, and a lot funnier than any report could capture. The real danger? You might never want to leave. So, let's see what makes Vanuatu so dangerous. Is it the storms, the smiles, or the scandalous abundance of happiness? Spoiler, it's not what you think. In fact, the real risk might just be falling in love with a way of life that's refreshingly simple and dangerously joyful. In Vanuatu, hustle culture is a myth. Here, the pace of life is set by the tides and the sun, not by deadlines or digital calendars. The air is thick with calm, and the only thing that seems to hurry is the occasional breeze rustling through the palm trees. The only thing hustling is a crab looking for shade, scuttling across the sand as if it has somewhere important to be. But even the crabs seem to know there's no real rush here. There's no 9-to-5 grind. People wake with the sun, not an alarm clock. The day begins gently with the first light filtering through thatched roofs and the sound of roosters, not the blare of a phone. The commute? It's a stroll down a dirt path, a peaceful canoe ride along the river, or maybe a pickup truck doubling as bus, school, and delivery van. There's no gridlock, just the rhythm of footsteps and laughter. Traffic jam means 5 cars and a pig crossing the road. No honking, no road rage, just patience, a wave, and maybe a quick chat with a neighbor while you wait. Island time isn't a tourist gimmick, it's a way of life. Here, time meanders, takes long naps under palm trees, and shows up when it feels like it. Schedules are flexible and nobody's counting the minutes. Meetings start with family talk and yam harvests. Business takes 10 minutes, then it's back to fishing plans or sharing a laugh. Conversations are as important as any agenda. Productivity is measured in relationships, gardens, and stories, not spreadsheets. Success is about how well you know your neighbor, not how many emails you send. When the day ends, it really ends. No late-night emails, no Sunday scaries, no pressure to squeeze in one more task. The workday closes with the sunset, and the evening belongs to you. Evenings are for family, food, and stories under the stars. Laughter drifts through the night air, and the only deadline is when the last ember fades. It's a lifestyle so relaxed, it makes California look frantic. Here, stress is a foreign concept, and the only thing urgent is enjoying the moment. Maybe a little sinful laziness is exactly what we need. In Vanuatu, slowing down isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. In Vanuatu, slowing down is the ultimate rebellion, a gentle reminder that life is best savored, not rushed. To understand Vanuatu, you have to understand kava. Forget beer or wine. Kava is muddy, earthy, and makes you feel like you've been gently tranquilized. Every night, men gather at the Nakamal, the kava bar. No music, no fights, just quiet contemplation. You drink a shell in one go, then sit, and sit. Maybe think, maybe not. Lips numb, muscles relax, and the world's problems drift away. Outsiders see a group of silent men, and assume the worst. But kava isn't about getting wasted, it's about getting calm. It's the most introverted social activity ever, a silent disco for your soul. In American bars, the goal is to get louder. In a nakamal, it's to get quieter. Disputes are settled by sharing kava and letting anger dissolve in silence. No lawyers, no yelling, just earthy numbness and peace. It's conflict resolution by tranquility. Maybe that's the real sin, choosing calm over chaos. In Vanuatu, serenity is the social norm. On Pentecost Island, land diving is the ultimate tradition. Forget bungee cords. Here it's a wooden tower and jungle vines. Boys leap from 100 feet to bless the yam harvest. The goal? Brush the earth, not bounce. Too long a vine, you die. Too short, you die of embarrassment. Try getting insurance for that. For the men of Pentecost, it's about courage, trust, and community. It's the original trust fall, your life in the hands of your village. We chase adrenaline for Instagram likes, they do it for culture and ancestors. It's raw, terrifying, and authentic. Who are the real risk takers? The ones with parachutes or the ones with vines and faith? Land diving isn't just a stunt, it's a spiritual connection. In Vanuatu, even the wildest traditions are about belonging. That's a commitment you won't find in any extreme sport. Let's talk about Vanuatu's cargo cults, where history gets weird, wonderful, and deeply human. On the remote island of Tanna, the ordinary and the extraordinary blend in ways that challenge our ideas of faith and tradition. During World War II, thousands of American soldiers landed on these islands, bringing with them jeeps, radios, tents, and endless cargo, supplies and technology the islanders had never seen before. To the Ni Vanuatu, it was as if the sky had opened and delivered miracles. Radios that spoke, flashlights that banished the night, and food that came in shiny cans. It all seemed like magic. But when the war ended, the soldiers packed up and left. The cargo stopped arriving, and the magical abundance vanished as quickly as it had appeared. Hoping to bring back the bounty, islanders began to imitate what they'd seen, marching in formation, building bamboo airstrips and raising homemade flags, all in the hope that the ships and planes would return with their treasures. The most famous of these movements is the John Frum cult. On Tanna Island, followers worship an American GI they call John Frum, believing he will one day return, bringing shiploads of cargo and prosperity. To outsiders, it might sound odd or even amusing, but if you look closer, is it really so different from our own rituals and hopes for a better future? We work hard, wait for direct deposit, buy lottery tickets, and stand in line for aid, always hoping for a windfall, a stroke of luck, or a blessing from beyond. The cargo cults are just a literal, vivid version of the same human hope, the belief that something wonderful might arrive if we just do the right thing. For the Ni Vanuatu, these rituals are about more than just cargo. They're about identity, resilience, and transforming outside power into a symbol of hope and unity. Every February, the people of Tanna parade for John Frum Day, dressing as soldiers, marching with bamboo rifles and celebrating their unique faith as they wait for their savior. It's a poignant example of how cultures adapt, reinterpret, and find meaning in the face of change, turning confusion into community and hope. Faith, hope, and a little misunderstanding, these are the threads that connect us all, uniquely human and uniquely Vanuatu. In the end, sometimes belief itself is the greatest cargo of all, a treasure that shapes lives, communities, and destinies. In America, the dream is wealth through hard work, often leading to stress, debt, and exhaustion. In Vanuatu, success is a roof, food, and friends. If you have that, you've already won. Why work 60 hours when you can work 10 and spend the rest fishing or napping? Americans mow lawns for status. Ni Vanuatu tend gardens that feed their families. One is a chore, the other is life. Vacations? For Ni Vanuatu, daily life is the vacation, their secret knowing when enough is enough. No constant ads telling them they need more. Their dream is living well, not owning more. It's not perfect, there are real challenges, but they've kept a sense of enough. In a world obsessed with more, that's the most radical idea of all. In Vanuatu, pigs are currency, status, and social glue. Forget stocks. Here your wealth walks around snorting. The most valuable pigs have long, curled tusks, years in the making, worth a fortune. Wealth isn't hidden in accounts, it's shared at feasts, building bonds, not barriers. Chiefs show power by giving pigs away, not hoarding them. Imagine explaining your portfolio as a prize boar named Oinkafeller. In Vanuatu, wealth is real, tangible, and meant for sharing. A pig can feed, trade, or unite a community. It's an economy built on generosity, not accumulation. No offshore accounts, just living, oinking assets. Here, community is capital. Maybe that's the smartest investment of all. Every traveler has a cultural blunder. Mine? The coconut incident. I grabbed a brown coconut off the ground, ready to crack it open. An old man watched, confused. "Why eat the floor coconut?" he asked. "Turns out ground coconuts are for pigs. Humans drink the green ones, fresh from the tree." The old man climbed a palm, handed me a green coconut, way better than my floor snack. In my world, a coconut is just a coconut. Here, it's a nuanced choice. People know their land intimately. What's food, what's medicine, what's pig feed. My city instincts failed me. Their practical wisdom shone. That moment taught me more than any guidebook. Vanuatu's simple life is deeply sophisticated. Lesson learned, always aim higher, especially with coconuts, and never underestimate local knowledge. So, is Vanuatu really the most sinful country on Earth? If sin means volcanoes and cyclones, sure, but if it's greed, envy, or wrath, look elsewhere. Vanuatu challenges our ideas of a good life, community over capital, time over toil, generosity over possessions. Their crime is being content, connected, and low impact. Maybe the real sin is our inability to see value in their way of life. Vanuatu holds up a mirror, and the reflection isn't always flattering. What's the point of progress if it doesn't make us happy? Maybe the real danger isn't nature, but the truth that happiness might be simpler than we think. If being happy and connected is a sin, hand me a shell of kava and let me be a sinner too. Sometimes paradise is just a different perspective.